We have Bridget Blanton with us, the director of Greensboro Public Libraries. Hello, it is so good to see you. I wish it could be in person, but this is lovely too.
Exactly. It's good to see you too.
And I should mention, I'm not actually in a library. There are no people in the libraries. This is just a photo behind me. It does kind of get me in the spirit during this interesting time that we're in. So, Bridget, tell us a little bit about what's happening with Greensboro Public Libraries.
So March 17th was actually the last day that we were open to the public. We closed that day around 5 o'clock, if I remember correctly. We went through a week and a half or more where staff was in. We actually, great thing about some of this time, you can use it productively because those collections don't just automatically look so great and wonderful. We have to work to do that. So we spent some time working and getting those things kind of in order. We'll do some more of that when staff comes back. But as things changed and the stay-at-home order came in place, we had to make some decisions. So our staff are working from home, a lot of them. If you're looking at Facebook, you'll notice we're having virtual story times available. We're doing instructional videos on how to, some for adults, some for kids. And we're actually doing what we call book bundles because, one of the things about libraries is wonderful. We're normally open 9 to 9, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 6 on Fridays and Saturdays with 9 to 6 on Saturdays, 2 to 6 on Sundays. But we have always had our virtual library that's open 24/7, right? So you use our website. It has connections to so many different things. So we're also using that. So people are checking out ebooks, downloading audiobooks. So that's there and it's there all the time. People may not have a library card. We have a way for them to reach out to ask a librarian. We have somebody that's developing temporary cards so they can have that access. If students are in Guilford County schools, about 6 months now, I think it's been that long, if you have a GCS student ID and you type your GCS in front of it and their student ID, they have access to our online resources. So as parents are home working with their kids, they still have access to NC Live, they have access to BrainFuse. Now, this is the one I really want to highlight because BrainFuse is a service that we have that kids are connected with a live tutor. So if you're struggling, you can go on to BrainFuse and it'll actually connect you with a tutor. And so the great thing about that, they don't give you the answer. It really is a tutor that's working you through that problem. So I think that's important. The other thing that is available is North Carolina Digital Kids. So there are books out there for kids to read as well online. So it's not a matter of you just having adult books there. And then if you have the little ones, we also have Tumble Books, which actually reads to you. So that's an option. So there are many options there that can be done at home that you can break it up in segments. I don't know if you, Rosemary, if you were aware that our Benjamin branch had Wally West to do like a jazz series like once a month. And we were able to work with Wally and he's actually doing that segment that he would normally do in an hour in 4 15-minute segments that we air. So we're finding ways to program and be there for our customers. And we're excited about it. I mean, it's actually, I believe in everything that you do, there's lessons that you can learn. And one of the things that we're learning in COVID-19 is there are many ways to program virtually as well as in-house. So right now, all we can do is virtually. So we're testing out some things that we wouldn't have tested before, I think.
And are you seeing an uptick in people using these virtual programs and using the online libraries?
We are. The circulation of the ebooks and that type of thing, I think I talked to our collection development manager, about 15%. But what's been amazing to me is the number of views with our online story times, because with using it virtually, you can tune in whenever you have time to do it. Versus if we have a story time in-house, you may not be able to make the 10 o'clock story time. Well, it's okay because it's on Facebook now and you can see it there. And we're linking a lot of those as well from our website as well.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed them. I was talking to Nasha previously, and I've enjoyed all these programs, and it's just something new to access every day and to look forward to when you see that it's coming up.
Right.
It's true. Tell me about your staff and what they're doing. I know some of them are doing this, working on these virtual programs, and some are still coming in and doing some work. Is that right?
We do have some coming in. The branch managers now coming in. A lot of we have one of the things because we are open, so much is we're actually having a lot of staff to do training. So the webinars and things that are available that they would not have been as easily been able to access at work and we're serving the public. So we have that going on. The programmers are actually preparing and designing programming, both what happens virtually and what will happen when we reopen. So they're doing that. We also have we're doing research. For example, there's a list every day. Our business nonprofit librarian does an updated list on what's available to small businesses and nonprofits in the COVID-19 period. So we send that to our assistant city manager, and he disseminates that within the small business community. We did the same thing for as when it related to the big box stores trying to decide how to social distance. We did the research on that. We're putting another thing together today about entertainment. So we're doing research behind the scenes. We're still ordering materials so we're prepared when we open, and then we're doing the research on what does it look like when libraries reopen. So we're staying busy.
So there, you kind of led to my next question. What does that look like? When might that happen? What kinds of things are you thinking about as far as reopening?
Right. So one of the things is we're going to, of course, go with whatever the city of Greensboro does, because that's the organization of which we are part of as far as reopening, even back to all staff coming in. There is a big kind of conversation going on, not just at the state level, but at the national level about libraries and how we do this. So the answer to that, it will probably be a phased in opening for the public to come in. We have to realize that social distancing will still need to take place. Some libraries were having conversations. I've read probably about 20 emails just this morning going back and forth because of an article, that came out. And it's, like, how do you make sure, because it's probably going to be a grab and go kind of thing. But at the same time, we still have to realize that we have community folks who come into the library to use our computers because they don't have them at home. But we still have to maintain that social distance. So we're thinking about all of that. So we're expecting a gradual phased in. I know we've had people ask, like, will we start a curbside service? We have to make sure that we, first of all, have the ability to do that. And secondly, to make sure that we're keeping staff and customers safe. I know some other places are doing it, but a lot of other places that around the country that did it, when the stay-at-home order went in place, they shut those down. So we're looking at all of that.
And finally, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's interesting times because not being able to see staff other than on Zoom meetings is very interesting. But it's caused me to really realize that anytime that you're not in a situation where you can control it, and we can't control this, so you begin to step back and look at things and say, okay, we know it's not going to look the same. Bottom line, I think there are very few organizations that can say that their work and their business is going to look exactly the same post-COVID-19 because it's going to take some time. So I'm sitting here in the office today, sometimes at my office at home, talking to folks. And what I'm doing is strategically, what does it look like? I have this year I actually serve as president of the North Carolina Library Directors Association, and when we were talking about it at the end of the year, I said, well, 2020 will be the year of perfecting vision, and I was very serious about not saying perfect, but perfecting. So I think what we're learning and I'm learning is, what are the things that we do that maybe we shouldn't be doing that way? What are the new ways that we can do things? And so I'm looking at it a period of time as, even though I miss having everybody, I definitely miss hearing the sound of customers in a building, but hopefully what I'm doing with staff is developing a library that will be even better when we reopen to the public.
I love to hear that. Bridget, thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you in person and doing more of these programs in person very soon. But in the meantime, my family and many, many, many others will continue to enjoy the virtual programs and all the online resources that you offer. So thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.